Welcome to the Moon Manifesting Podcast with Kyra Howearth. Hi, I'm Kyra, business astrologer, moon manifesting mama, author, teacher, and mentor. I teach you how to harness the energy of the moon, stars, and cosmos so you can manifest your dreams and discover a deeper purpose to your life. Welcome back to the Moon Manifesting Podcast. It's Kyra Howearth here today. How are you all going? We are about to enter into eclipse season, and so today's episode is all about eclipses, about should you manifest with the eclipses, and about what's coming up with this eclipse season. Specifically, I'm going to be talking mostly about the eclipse coming up in Aries, the solar eclipse, but I'll also touch on the lunar eclipse coming up in May as well, the lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So yeah, we're talking all about eclipses, eclipse season, and what to expect with these eclipses. It's so exciting. I love eclipses. Like, they are honestly one of my favorite parts of the moon cycle, and whenever this energy comes around, I get such a buzz because like there is just so much potential for eclipses. So let's dive into this episode. Before I dive into everything about what's come up with these eclipses, though, I would like to mention that if you do want to know more about the moon phases, about the eclipses, about everything that you need to know about working with the moon, make sure you check out my book, Moon Manifesting. This is your guide to working with all of the phases of the moon through all the zodiac signs. There's also a whole chapter there on working with the eclipses, the solar eclipses, as well as the lunar eclipses, things like black moons and blue moons and what they mean, as well as finding your own moon sign and what that means for you. There is so much in that book, and you can get that through the show notes below, or you can find it on Amazon or any other good bookstores near you. Yeah, look through the show notes, you'll find it. Alrighty, so let's talk all about eclipses. So number one, the first point I want to cover is, should you manifest with eclipses? So I feel like there's this myth that's just been spreading through the internet all about eclipses are bad, do not manifest with eclipses, do not charge your crystals under the eclipse, all this stuff. And I feel like this is well-meaning advice, but personally, I love working with eclipses. I may not charge my crystals under an eclipse, a lunar eclipse, that is. But yeah, each to their own. I still think in terms of manifesting, eclipses are powerful manifestation portals. And if you're ready to create a really deep change in your life, then absolutely work with those eclipses. If you're not ready, don't work with the eclipses, because sometimes they can just really catapult you into this crazy world of chaos. And if you're not ready for that, it can be really overwhelming. But if you're ready for change, if you're ready for transformation, then working with eclipses is exactly what you want to be doing. So totally up to you whether you work with eclipses and how you work with those eclipses. But personally, I feel these are like massive opportunities for us to step into our higher potential. So a little word like about eclipses and kind of, what happens with eclipses. It's to do with the nodes. So in astrology, there are the North Node and the South Node. The North Node is all about our future destiny, and the South Node is about our past karma. And these nodes are like directly opposite each other on the astrology wheel. So like, yeah, they're like moving. Although they're actually moving, I think, the other way, because they're always in retrograde motion. I'm not sure which way is which on the camera because it's kind of backwards. But anyway, they're always moving backwards. They're not actually a point that you can see in the sky. Like, it's kind of like a mathematically created equation. But these nodes, this is why we get eclipses, because it's when like the new and full moon align with these nodes. So at the moment, in April, May 2023, the nodes are in Scorpio and Taurus. So the North Node is currently in Taurus, and the south node of past karma is in Scorpio. So what that means is that generally speaking, the new and full moon, if it's falling in Taurus or Scorpio, there's a really good chance that that's going to be accompanied by an eclipse. So with that said, that I guess that kind of explains a bit about like why I see eclipses are such powerful manifestation portals, because when I look at like the north node, like particularly if I'm doing like an astrology reading or something, like I will hone into that energy of that north node, because this is often our greatest area of challenge, but it's also like our future destiny, our greater destiny, our like kind of where we are supposed to be going for the future. And even though it can feel really challenging and it will force us to step out of our comfort zone, when we lean into that energy, it will lead to greater opportunities. And you know, it's like the universe is kind of like pushing us in that direction. So yeah, I feel like working with eclipses is really powerful because you're tapping into that energy of the north node. You're tapping into those nodal energies, opening up those portals for you to step into your greater destiny. So yeah, whenever there's an eclipse, I always try to make a point of actively working with that energy so that I can propel my life forward. And I will always suggest to people to do the same thing, because we have so much greater potential and we can always use some more assistance from the universe to step into that greater potential, to keep moving through the notions to go towards our greater destiny. Okay, so let's talk more specifically about the eclipses that are coming up in April and May 2023. So first up, we have a solar eclipse coming up with the new moon in Aries. So you might be thinking, okay, why is Aries in the mix here now? Because I was just talking all about the nodes being in Taurus and Scorpio. So what's happening it's occurring on the 20th of April at 2:12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. That's 4:12 a.m. Grand Meridian Time, GMT. So if you're in America, it will be happening late at night on the 19th of April. Anyways, this eclipse is actually occurring at 29 degrees and 50 minutes Aries. So there's only 30 degrees in each zodiac sign. So because this eclipse is occurring right at the end of Aries, it's like literally moving into Taurus, like I think like not even an hour after this eclipse. Because it's occurring so close to Taurus, that's why this is an eclipse. And I think the node at this point is only like at the first few degrees of Taurus off the top of my head. So the node, even though the north node is still in Taurus, it is close enough to these final degrees of Aries to cause an eclipse in Aries. So this is actually a hybrid eclipse, and I speak more about hybrid eclipses in one of my previous episodes when I'm talking about what to expect for the year ahead in 2023. So if you want to go back to the archives of the Moon Manifesting podcast and find that, it talks a bit more about the different types of eclipses and yeah, kind of more of a general thing of what to expect. And it would actually be quite interesting to go back and review that episode anyway to, yeah, because I know I spoke a lot about the eclipses and what's coming up. So if you want more eclipse info, make sure you go check out that episode. I can't think of off the top of my head of what exactly that episode, what number it was, but yeah, it was something about like what to expect for the year ahead for 2023. So anyways, with this Aries hybrid eclipse, so we actually already had a new moon in Aries, and this is the second new moon in Aries. So this happens because each new moon is only separated by about 28 to 29 degrees. So when we have a new moon occurring like right at the start of a zodiac sign, like in the first degree or two, then, well, not even the second degree, like literally in the first degree, then we will see a second new moon in that same sign, because there's only 30 degrees in a zodiac sign, and well, yeah, if it lines up, we get those two new moons or whatever it might be in that same sign. So, yeah, this is like, I guess what I'm saying here is that if If you set intentions on the first new moon of Aries, this second new moon of Aries can be a really powerful portal because it's accompanied by an eclipse. So you may like to review those intentions that you set at that first new moon of Aries and, maybe reaffirm those intentions or build on those intentions with this new moon and eclipse in Aries. You kind of, it's kind of like you get a second chance, which I feel is really quite interesting because the new moon in Aries symbolizes the beginning of the astrological new year. Aries is the first zodiac sign out of the 12 zodiacs. And so the new moon, being a time of new beginnings, really symbolizes this powerful new beginning for the astrological year. So now that we're having this second new moon in Aries and it's accompanied by an eclipse, I feel like we're really getting this second chance and we get to review those intentions that we set and we get to consider, do we actually want to manifest these? Let's go get it. Because that Aries energy is like a real go-getter energy. They take initiative, they make things happen, they get started on things really fast and just get it done. It's a really good opportunity to review those intentions you set and come back to them, and I feel like recommitting to those intentions and making it happen. Okay, so as I said, we will also be having a lunar eclipse coming up about 2 weeks later. So when we have eclipses, right, they are often in pairs. So a solar eclipse is almost always accompanied by a lunar eclipse. And eclipse season will last about 35 days. So depending on those 35 days, like this window, it will depend on how many new moons or full moons are falling within there. There's the potential to have 3 eclipses. So you might have a solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, and solar eclipse, or vice versa. It might be like a lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, and then lunar eclipse. Or there might just be the 2, as there is in this particular eclipse season. And then in October, we'll also have 2 more eclipses. We'll have a solar eclipse happening in Libra, and then we'll be having a lunar eclipse in Taurus, which will be the final eclipse for the Scorpio-Taurus axis. So what's really important about this Aries eclipse that's happening on the 20th of April is that it is kickstarting this Aries-Libra axis. So like I was talking about with the nodes, with those north and south nodes, which are currently in Taurus and Scorpio, this is like the energy of these eclipses. And the nodes change around every 18 months or so. And so, yeah, we'll be seeing those nodes shift into Aries and Libra a bit later on in the year. And that's why we're seeing this eclipse now, even though the nodes aren't quite in Aries and Libra yet, they're almost there. So that's why we're getting this Aries eclipse. So the Aries-Libra axis, let's talk a bit about that because that's kind of going to set the tone for the next 18 months to 2 years while these eclipses are occurring in Aries and Libra. So this Aries-Libra axis is all about self versus others. Aries is very much about the self and about discovering you and being an individual, whereas Libra energy is very much about giving to others and supporting others and relationships. So it's very much like self versus other, and throughout this Aries Libra axis, there's going to be this constant theme coming up of yourself versus others. How much time are you devoting to yourself versus how much of your energy and time are you giving to others, and similar issues to that. So you may see, a recurring theme around those issues. So I'm going to go through a bit of a horoscope now for each of the zodiac signs for what's going to be coming up with this new moon and eclipse in Aries. So yeah, I think I've talked enough about like exactly kind of what's coming up with this Aries eclipse on a general level. Basically, it is a time for new beginnings and like really powerful new beginnings. The thing with eclipses is that like it can create rapid transformation. Things that might often take like many moon cycles to manifest can manifest really fast. And this is also probably a really good time to kind of share a story that I also share in my book about a few years ago when I manifested like $50,000 with the power of an eclipse. Like it happened in the blink of an eye, and it was just crazy, and I was just like blown away, and it just happened under an eclipse. And you can read all about it in my book because I'm just like gobsmacked still. But yeah, like you cannot underestimate the power of eclipses. Like anything is possible. Just believe that anything is possible. Like whatever it is that you want to manifest, put it out there to the universe, and start getting those wheels in motion. Take a few little action steps towards it and see what actually manifests into your reality. Because every time I've worked with eclipses, I've found that exact same thing happens. There's always this rapid manifestation, these rapid transformations, this really fast action that just really changes my life. And I really hope that you can do the same thing and manifest those changes that you want to see in your life too. Alrighty, so into these horoscopes for each zodiac sign. Let's dive into this for what's coming up for each zodiac sign. So listen through and yeah, maybe, listen to the ones for your sun sign, for your moon sign, for your rising sign, or maybe all three. All three can be really helpful, I find, or just choose whatever one resonates with you most. So Aries, so whether you have Aries, sun, moon, or rising, this Aries solar eclipse and new moon is focusing on you. It's all about yourself, about your individuality, about your uniqueness, about standing up for yourself. This can also be a really good time in business for your branding, for doing things like logos, websites, for photo shoots, for anything that helps you stand out as a brand and to express your authenticity. That's probably the key word here for Aries for this new moon, is about being your authentic self and not letting anything hold you back. If you're a Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, this new moon and eclipse in Aries is all about resting and retreating. So this could be a really good opportunity to go on a retreat, to go on a holiday, to take a break from your work, to take a break from your daily routines, to rest and find stillness. In whatever shape or form that may look like for you. So whether you just devote some extra time to some self-care practices, or maybe you do take a day off work and just rest, sleep in, read a book, whatever it is. Eat indulgent food, because I know Tauruses love their food. Do whatever it is that you need to do so that you can fill your cup, so you can feel rested and recharged. That is the key, most important thing for Taurus, sun, moon, and rising this new moon. If you're a Gemini, sun, moon, or rising, then this focus for this new moon and eclipse in Aries is all about your community and friendships. So this could be a really good time for, maybe finding new friendship groups to hang out with, for finding new friends, for finding new community groups, for like a new community involvements. How could you get more involved with people in your community? How could you get more involved with groups of like-minded people? How could you connect more deeply with your friends? That sort of thing. For Cancer, sun, moon, or rising, this new moon and solar eclipse in Aries is all about your career and the greater impact that you want to create on the world. So this could be a really good time for maybe starting a new career path. Like if you've been thinking about a career change, this could be a really good time to just go for it, to like hand in your letter of like your 2 weeks notice and find that new career path or whatever it might be. And, you know, I know that Cancers, they really crave security, and that this may feel really, really scary to make such a big change. But that's what this eclipse energy is all about. It is about stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something that scares you, but that you know is your calling and that it's your greater destiny. And so if you're feeling like your career needs to change, or there's something there about like your long-term goals that needs to change, then this is the new moon to do it. This is the new moon to work with, to really bring those changes to your longer term goals in your career and that impact that you want to create on the world. So if you're a Leo, sun, moon, or rising, this new moon and eclipse in Aries is all about education and travel. It's about exploring the world on a deeper level so you can bring more meaning into your life. So this could be a really good time for maybe starting new studies. If there's something that you really want to learn about, then this new moon could be a really good time to sign up for that course, to enroll in those studies, or whatever it might be. Or travel, like if travel is something that has been really ebbing at you, this could be a really good opportunity to go out and explore new places, to pack up your bags and say, see ya, and board the next plane and just see where it takes you. Like, do whatever you feel called to, but it may not have to be so dramatic. It may just be as simple as just taking a day trip around your local area. But knowing Leos, you do like drama, so you know it may need to be a bit dramatic. So yeah, do whatever you feel called to in terms of travel and education this new moon and eclipse in Aries. Yeah, and don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Like if it's you know, if you want to learn about something, but you're kind of like, oh, this is so different to what I've already learnt about. Like, yeah, don't be afraid to try something new, to find a new perspective. Yeah, that's really what this eclipse is pushing you towards, finding that new perspective in life. If you're a Virgo, sun, moon, or rising, this focus for this new moon and eclipse in Aries is all about money and business. So this could be a really good time for setting powerful intentions for money that you want to manifest into your life. For business goals, if you happen to be running your own business, working on your business this new moon, it can be a really powerful thing to do. But it's all about like how you can make money or sell things, how you can make other people's money into your money, pretty much. So yeah, setting income goals, and yeah, like really putting it out to the universe, like money manifesting rituals. Like I used to follow some manifesting rituals by Sarah Prout, and if you haven't heard of her, definitely look her up because she's like a manifestation queen. She does all sorts of like law of attraction things. And anyway, like I remember like working through her processes during new moons, like about manifesting money, and that's just something that came up for me when I was thinking about like Virgo and what you guys could be doing during this new moon. So yeah, like money manifestation rituals, like writing out how much money you want, writing a check from the universe and popping it in your wallet, and that sort of thing. Money manifestation. Go forth and do it, Virgo. So if you're a Libra, this new moon in Aries and eclipse in Aries is all about relationships. So whether that's your close relationships, and it doesn't necessarily mean romantic relationships, it could mean like business relationships, it could mean like your close relationships with other loved ones, like one-on-one relationships. So it could be like your relationship with your children, your relationship with your business partner, romantic partner, with your mum, with your dad, with your clients even, if you have clients in your work, or even your customers, your relationships with your customers. It's about that one-on-one relationship, that like one-on-one conversation where you're able to communicate with another person one-on-one. So that's really what to focus on for this new moon and eclipse. So Libra, like if maybe you're trying to manifest some sort of relationship or partnership, this is the new moon to do it. So whether that's like a romantic partnership or a business partnership, or maybe you're needing like a mentor or some sort of support, that is also really ideal for this new moon and eclipse energy, for bringing in some sort of support, like some one-on-one support for yourself. Yeah, that's key for you. If you're a Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising, this new moon and eclipse in Aries is all about your health and routines. So don't be surprised if health issues flare up for you during this new moon or this eclipse season even, because that's kind of like what's in focus right now. And often when there's like the North Node going through like this area of health, that can often bring up challenges with our health. It can bring up health issues. So if you do have any symptoms, any health symptoms, be sure to get them checked out by a health professional, whether that's a doctor or a naturopath or some other trusted health professional that you regularly see, or maybe even seeing a new one. If you've been seeing another health professional and haven't got the answers, this eclipse and new moon could be the perfect opportunity to find someone who maybe does have the answers for you to help you on your health journey. And routines is something else that's coming up for Scorpio for this new moon and eclipse. So if there are things in your daily routine or like habits that you've kind of slipped into that you're wanting to break, this new moon can help you start afresh. It can help you break those habits. It can help you shake up your routine so that you're doing different things on the daily that will help you along with your goals. It can help you with consistency, like if there's those bigger goals that you're wanting to manifest later on down the year, then this new moon energy can help you start up those daily habits so that you can manifest those goals. Don't underestimate the power of daily habits, Scorpios. That's really what you need to be working on this new moon and eclipse. So if you're a Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising, this Aries new moon and eclipse is all about play and creativity. This could be a really good time to do something that's just for fun. So whether that's like some sort of art or creative project, maybe it's some sort of play-based thing like gaming or or something else that's just for fun. Like it's just a hobby, it's just a creative outlet, something like that where it's not serious and you're not doing it like to make money, you're not doing it as part of a business, it's just something for you to do for fun. Like if you don't already have something like this, like if Sagittarius, you're listening to me and you're like, I don't have anything in my life that's like that, I don't have anything that's fun, then this new moon and eclipse is the perfect time to start something. Pick up that paintbrush or, pick up that pen and just start writing poems or do something that's just playful and fun. And if all else fails, just go play with some kids, whether it's your own kids or maybe you have nieces or nephews or whatever. Play with kids. That's that's always a really fun way to get into that playful energy. All right, Capricorn, if you're a Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising, this Aries new moon and eclipse is really going to shine a spotlight on your security and your personal life. So Capricorns, I know that you guys are very career focused and always very focused on like the long-term goals and that sort of thing. So this energy is kind of like the opposite of what you guys usually focus on. It's not about that career focused stuff and trying to be the best and everything. It's about coming back to just having a comfortable and secure personal life, making sure that your personal life is making you happy, that it's comfortable, that you feel at ease in your personal space. So, maybe it is a good time to just, take a break from work so that you can actually enjoy the things that you've been working so hard to get. Like, it's like, you slave away at a job for years to save up all this money to, buy something luxurious, but then you're working too much to enjoy it, right? So yeah, this new moon and eclipse is really going to shake things up, and it's going to help you enjoy those things that you've been working so hard towards. Yeah, I hope that's hitting a chord with you guys, with you Capricorns. Yeah, take some time out from your work so that you can enjoy the things that really matter to you on a personal level. All right, Aquarius. If you're an Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising, this Aries new moon and eclipse is really shining a spotlight on your social networks and communications. So this could be a really good opportunity to meet new people, whether that's online or in person. Like, you might feel more called to going out and about, to meeting new people, to going to events, to going to markets, to going to networking meetings, to going like where other people hang out. And yeah, sharing your ideas with those people, sharing your thoughts, your ideas, communicating, all that sort of stuff. This new moon is really important for you to connect with people and to share your ideas. So yeah, whatever comes up for you with that, that's your focus, Aquarius. Yeah, connecting and communicating. So Pisces, the last of the zodiac signs. If you're a Pisces sun, moon, or rising, this Aries new moon and eclipse is really important for your goals as well as your money and finances. So this can be a really good time for setting new intentions for goals that you want to set. It can be a really good time for putting it out there to the universe of, hey, this is how much money I want to manifest this moon cycle. Help me make this. Or yeah, like setting other financial goals, getting your finances under control. Maybe like working on paying off debts even, or doing things like that so that your finances can grow and support you. So that's really what Pisces are focusing on, like, yeah, those more physical, tangible goals. So things like those tangible things that you want to manifest into your life, the material things, like if there are things that you want to buy or the things that you want to save up for. This is a really good new moon to to set that goal and save up for it. Like if there is something that you like want to save up for, or that you like a large purchase that you want to make, like setting that intention with this new moon, even if it's like a really massive purchase, like, you know, thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever it might be, setting that intention with this new moon could actually really help that rapidly manifest. And the thing to keep in mind too is, like, when you want to manifest those tangible things, you don't necessarily need to just focus on like making the money to buy it. You may look for opportunities where you might like win a competition. Like an example here is actually from one of my favorite mentors, Denise Duffield Thomas. And one of her goals a number of years ago was to travel around the world. And how she manifested this was she actually won a competition, and all expenses paid, like 6 months of traveling around the world. And that story has always stuck with me. It's like, you know, you don't necessarily have to manifest the money to, you know, buy that thing or to have that experience. There are so many other ways that you can manifest it. So whether there's like a giveaway or competition or something like that, keep your eyes open. Like if you just put it out there to the universe, like, hey, this is what I want to manifest, you just never know what opportunities could fall into your lap. Keep your eyes open for opportunities to manifest that thing. All right. So that pretty much sums up the horoscopes for this new moon and solar eclipse in Aries. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if your horoscope resonated with you. I would love to know. Send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, or even just shoot me through an email, because I always love hearing from you, and I love hearing about, yeah, the horoscopes and how they resonate with you. I'm sure every time I do an episode like this about the new moon, like I always get these beautiful messages about like how spot on those horoscopes were. So yeah, let me know if this horoscope really resonated with you. And happy manifesting with the eclipse. I'm so excited to see what you guys manifest. If you do have an amazing manifestation story from this eclipse, be sure to tell me about that as well. I do like to get guests onto the podcast to share their manifestation stories. So if that's you, send me a message too. We could have a chat here on the podcast to talk all about moon manifesting. So don't forget, if you do want to know more about moon manifesting, whether that's just manifesting with the eclipses and you want to know more about how I manifested that $50,000 that one time, or if you just want to know more about like the moon cycle and how to work with each of the phases and the zodiac signs, be sure to check out my book, Moon Manifesting. You'll find that in the show notes below. It is like a really comprehensive guide to everything you need to know about working with the moon throughout all her phases, all the zodiac signs, and so much more. There is really a lot of things that you can uncover through working with the moon, and that's all inside my book, Moon Manifesting, available on Amazon, or click through the show notes to get your copy now. Well, I will see you all in the next episode of the Moon Manifesting podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Stay manifesting, stay magical, and stay tuned. I will speak with you really soon. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Moon Manifesting podcast. If you're wanting more moon magic, check out my book, Moon Manifesting. Download your free Moon Manifesting calendar or connect with me on social media. You can do all of that at kyrahowearth.com.au. Stay magical, stay manifesting, and stay tuned. I'll speak with you in the next episode.